Now, back when I first got this bike, the HeyBike Ranger S, I actually got it to test out something I'd been hearing. I'd heard that people were using e-bike batteries to extend their power stations, and I thought I should check that out. So I got this bike because it was offered to me from HeyBike. It was a sponsored video, though frankly, it wasn't probably what they were looking for. But in any case, I got that bike to review it, and then I promptly tried to see if I could use the battery to, well, extend the life of a power station. And I concluded that that's just not a good idea. I tested the bike out, seemed like a solid bike, rode it around, seemed pretty fun, and frankly, then it sat most of the winter. Fast forward to the spring, and out here where I live, folks, we have something we call goat heads. They're like little seed pods that are frankly a nightmare. These things will puncture the tires in a heartbeat, and you'll get several of them every time you ride. And I have a mountain bike that I've been riding for years, put a lot of miles on it. You can't tell right now, that's because I got a bad back and bad hands, and riding my mountain bike is something I haven't been able to do this year, which is why I thought an e-bike, by the way, would be a good idea. In any case, out here with these goat heads, you've got to put some armor in your tires or they're just going to go flat on you as soon as you try to ride it around the block. So I took it into a local shop and I said, hey, go ahead, make these tires bulletproof. And while you're at it, do me a favor, go ahead and run through the bike for me. Just check everything out, make sure that everything's aligned right and whatever, because I noticed that a brake was kind of dragging a little bit and I had just kind of slapped it together when I did my video. So I wanted it gone through professionally. And I got to tell you, that actually cost me a fortune. It was like $400. Now, to be fair, a huge portion of that was, in fact, those armor tires, which actually work really well. So I can't complain about that. Now, moving forward, after getting that done, I then took the bike up to the cabin because I thought one of the best places for this bike for me was really up at my property, though riding it down here for exercise seemed like a good idea, but I really wanted to test it kind of off grid, off the beaten path. It's got big tires, it's got a suspension. I wanted to take it out and ride it around. And I'm up at 3,200 feet in the mountains, in some rough terrain. So I got the bike up there, and quite frankly, it worked pretty well. I was surprised. The big tires made sense out there. I was able to ride it up and down some steep hills once I remembered to shift down, because that was something that, for whatever reason, I brain farted that one, folks. Tried to ride up the first hill in like 7th gear, and then I was kind of like, drop it down into 1st gear, and then it worked like a charm. And I was able to ride it up and down steep hills, quickly around the property. It was great. I was impressed, except there were a couple things that I noticed. First, back in the spring, when I decided to ride it a little bit and then took it into the shop, I noticed that the pedals were a bit low to the ground. And this is important, and I'll talk about that here again in a minute. The other thing is up at the cabin where I was riding it around, I noticed that the handlebars are just slightly forward of the axle. They're up higher than I'm used to anyway because of my mountain bike, and they're slightly forward. And I found that they probably did that for comfort in riding. You know, you sit up straight, hold your hands out. It's a good seated position for just riding around on even terrain. But up there at the cabin in rougher terrain with roots and pine cones and all kinds of stuff, I actually found it seemed to create less stability. So that's something to pay attention to. I would say that handlebars on this appear to be just a little too far forward. It worked off-road. It worked fairly well. Would take a little getting used to, but it's not as stable as a mountain bike. So something that I kind of felt could be improved. But it worked pretty well overall, and I had fun riding it around. Then I brought it home, and when we were planning this camping trip in our brand new RV and taking the grandkids, I thought, well, they're going to want to walk around a lot, and with my back right now, I cannot walk very far, nor very fast. And I thought, well, I'll bring the bike along so I can ride it, and you know, if they want to go for walks and whatever, we can go together and I'll ride the bike. So we got it up there, and it's just gravel forest roads and a big gravel parking lot. It's got some potholes and rocks and whatever. And I rode it around in the parking lot, seemed fine, worked pretty well for me, and I thought, okay, they want to go for walks, it's going to be great. Well, the truth of the matter is they ended up spending most of their time playing in a stream behind the campsite and running around together, doing whatever, you know, grandkids do these days to entertain themselves out in the woods. And at one point, they were kind of sitting around a little bored, and I said, hey, you guys want to ride this e-bike? And so they were like, yeah, sure. And one of them jumped on the bike and took off after I showed him how to operate it. And he rode it for about half an hour, and he was booking out there. He was going pretty fast. And then his brother went and tested it, and of course, he was doing the same thing. I mean, 2 teenage grandsons, what do they want to do? Try to go as fast as that bike can go. And they're doing it. They're whipping around out there. And I started going, they might be going a little too fast. So I kind of called them in and I'm like, okay guys, this is going a little too fast. And told them to slow down a little bit. But then I noticed that the battery was actually falling out of the frame. It was sticking out about a half an inch or more from the frame. And I looked at it and I noticed that the key lock barrel, you stick the key in, was gone or appeared gone. There was just a hole there. I really didn't know what I was going to do, but I got looking at it a little closer and I discovered that that whole assembly that locks the battery in place and for the key lock was up inside the frame. It had come loose and bounced up inside the frame. So I kind of pulled it down, tried to figure out if there's any way I could reattach things. I couldn't see anything at the time, and so I took some pictures. When I got home, I emailed HeyBike and said, okay guys, I don't know what to do. And they said, you just need 2 M5 20mm screws and screw it all back together. It'd be fine. So I went to the local hardware store and spent $2 on screws and brought it back, and I got some Loctite out because I figured, well, if this is something that can happen, I should probably Loctite it. And I screwed the screws in, Loctited it up, and gee whiz, it worked perfectly fine. In fact, I had my grandson jump on it and ride it around a little bit and make sure everything was working fine, and it was. So the kicker here is that even though I had the bike checked out, and it's not a hit against them because this isn't something I think that they would have even thought of, I think it's important to note that if you've got an e-bike of any kind or you're looking to buy one, be sure to kind of do your due diligence and go through and check all of the nuts and bolts and screws and things, especially if you're going to be riding it off-road. I'm going to take the blame on that one myself because I didn't bother to do that. I frankly had it serviced, didn't think about it. It's a bike. I ride a mountain bike. My mountain bike never needs service. So I'm not used to something like an e-bike. And so if you're like me and you've ridden bikes and all that kind of stuff, and now you want to get an e-bike or you just got one, go out, take a screwdriver, take a couple wrenches, double check everything, make sure it's fully tight. And if you have a setup like this HeyBike like I do, where you got a couple screws that are up into the frame to hold the key lock mechanism and the battery lock in place, frankly, I'd remove them, put a little Loctite on them and stick them back up in there, because then they won't vibrate out if you're off-road or on a gravel road and riding around. And as far as the pedals go, I mentioned that earlier. One of the things I noticed is that they seem kind of low. And so when I was kind of leaning over testing the bike out, I noticed that the pedal in the down position can actually hit the road if you're leaning a bit into a turn. So if you're going on a fairly sharp turn, you're leaning over a little bit and you're pedaling, it is possible for that pedal to hit the ground. I would say pay attention to that. Yes, this bike can go pretty fast, but I think that if you're trying to pedal it and go fast and go around corners, be aware that those pedals are a little bit low. Now, the only other thing about this bike that I kind of felt could be improved was, other than the fact that it has a lithium-ion battery, I'd like to see them switch to lithium iron phosphate batteries, but it also only charges from an AC charger, and the charger's not very fast. So frankly, I'd like to see them make it so you can charge it via a solar MPPT charger, and you had a simple connection that you could adapt to, say, a solar panel with maybe a controller, or had a built-in controller already, because frankly, they could put a controller in the battery and then you could provide either AC or DC to charge that battery up. It wouldn't be that hard. I'd love to see that, because from an off-grid perspective, frankly, that would be the best. So as far as the HeyBike Ranger S goes, so far, frankly, it's done pretty well. And if you ask me, would I recommend it? I would say, well, I'm not an e-bike expert by any stretch of the imagination. It does what I wanted it to do, so I can't complain there. The price, at least at the time, seemed right. I'll pop it up right here right now. We beat the heck out of it. I mean, the boys riding it the way they were really put it through its paces. It seemed to handle that pretty well, other than the 2 screws falling out. So I would say, it's probably not a bad deal. And one of the things that I really liked about this bike, that was the reason why I chose that one over others I was offered, is that it folds up into a fairly small package. So from a transport perspective, if you don't have an e-bike rack on the back of your rig, you can just fold it up and then strap it in place. Anyway, folks, there you have it. That's my thoughts on the HeyBike Ranger S after 8 months. It's a decent bike. This one has done well in the rough terrain that I've put it through. Anyway, folks, I'm going to throw another video right over here for you to check out. Thanks for watching, folks, and thanks to all my members. I really appreciate your support. You all have a great day. The old Jarhead out.